So next week's episode involves Ray. Obviously, why don't you just sort of preview what it's going to be like for her? It did seem a little weird when we watched the premiere, but I didn't realize it was such a long time jump, but that nobody was cared about Ray at that point in time. Where was Ray?
There's beef I have right now too because we haven't mentioned Roy either, and of course I'm always like, Roy. And I mean, I guess they've been away for so long, and there's this idea within the past 5.5 months that, they have talked about it, and we get to see sort of blips of their life once a week as opposed to, seeing their every moment we have behind doors. So there is a lot we do have to sort of just buy as an audience watching TV to a certain extent, but we shouldn't have to buy it all. With him coming back, I think it's, as much as it's a surprise, it's also... there are no limitations. There's this idea that life isn't exactly going to be everything that you thought you were given, and death isn't exactly permanent anymore. And I think that is really hard to struggle with, but also just the ability to being forced to accept it is really hard. And she comes into that knowledge, finding out that he's the possibility of him being alive, and just running with that because she doesn't have any other choice, because you have to prove that he's not again, and you could drive yourself crazy with that for the rest of your life. And so she does for the time being. She goes neurotic, and she just sort of and she's still Felicity in a sense that she's kind of bubbly and she's there, but there's this energy that I don't think we've seen her in before, that's just sort of super focused and very wired, and the need, sort of that need to figure that out. I think I got there at some point.
Stephen had mentioned that at some point Ray is found by Damien Dark. Is it complex the way that these relationships interplay? Because it seems like he's coming at the team from 3 different angles for different purposes.
Damien is?
Yeah.
I think Damien just has it out for everyone, to be honest. I think he's just well, this is going to be my town, and then it elevates everything. And I'm just going to kill anyone in my way. But having him be such a present villain, grandiose, I think is a good word for him. He just takes up so much space, and he has so much power, that there is no way that he would interconnect Starling City's finest.
What was your reaction to the grave scene? Did you have any theories when you read it?
I mean, as castmates, we're all is it you? Is it you? Oh, it could be you. No, you know what? It's definitely me. It's me. It has to be me. It has to be you. It has to be me. It's going to be them. It's going to be no one. No one's in the grave. That conversation happens daily. So, and everyone proves that it's not, and then proves that it is, and then it's but then there's this, and then nobody can die because there's the pit, and there's time travel, and if we travel to the Flash, we can just bring it back to life, and then it doesn't matter. And it's just oh my god. And I sort of said to one of our writers once, I was I don't really want to know, but do you know? And they were and I was are you lying? I can't tell. So I was I don't really care that much. I have to go shoot. So I think it's good storytelling, and I think a flash forward was a really smart idea, and they're brilliant. So they surprised me, and I like story for story, so I was happy to see that.
I'm sorry they were calling her back to set. Talk about the ring before you go.
Oh, that thing is big. I haven't tried it on yet, though, so we'll see.
Stephen said it's coming back.
I bet it does.
Do you think Felicity's ready for marriage?
Well, I'm not.